I'm Julie Marie and I'm excited to bring you another one of my great recipes. Tonight I'm making scalloped potatoes. That was the request. I've never made them before since veganizing my diet, and I'm going to go with what I think works. My mom used to make scalloped potatoes all the time. So I'm going to start with 3 cups of unsweetened soy milk. So when you're looking for soy milks, you want to look for a soy milk that only has soybeans, organic soybeans, and water. No sugars added, no thickeners. So this is 3 cups of organic soy milk. And to that we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And we're going to crush some garlic, my favorite fishing tool. We're going to put 3 cloves of fresh crushed garlic. Maybe crushed 2 here. And I have 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. And to that I'm going to add just enough water so that I can liquefy the cornstarch. I'm going to mix this up. While that's dissolving into the water, I'm going to heat up this soy milk. I'm going to bring this to a boil. You can see this is nice and liquefied. While this is coming to a boil, I want to talk to you about some of the benefits of incorporating and eating potatoes. They're super high in fiber. There is 6 grams of protein and 6 grams of fiber per potato, like a medium-sized potato. So the fiber in the potato helps you feel fuller longer, so it's a great thing to incorporate in the morning. People think, oh, I'm eating oatmeal to lower my cholesterol and add fiber into my diet, when oatmeal per serving only has about, well, it's still high. It has about 4 grams of fiber per serving. The potato has 6, and I find it so much more satisfying. So I've been trying to incorporate more potatoes into my diet. It's also a good source of iron, so eat your potatoes. Potatoes got a bad rap for a long time, and I think that was due to the fact that the toppings that we put on them, or we fry them, we put them in oil or butter or bacon grease. No longer do we have to use those oils and fats to cook things, as you're going to see today with this recipe. Okay. So now it's starting to come to a boil, so we're going to turn it down a little bit. It doesn't have to boil over. And we're going to incorporate this cornstarch. And this should thicken right up. We want to cook this for 1 to 2 minutes to get rid of the flavor of the cornstarch. You can turn it down a little bit. You don't want it to boil over, just so that it's at a low boil. Okay, and to this I'm going to add nutritional yeast flakes, which I've used in other recipes. If you're not familiar with them, they're loaded with B vitamins. You can find them at your natural health food stores. Whole Foods carries them in the bulk bins. If you just want to taste them, buy a little bit, see if you like them. I'm sure you will. It gives it a cheesy, nutty flavor. Oops. You might want to use a little bit bigger of a pot than I chose here today. As I told you, this is the first time I'm making this. It's kind of daring of me to record it. My mom helped me out with this recipe because I was trying to remember how to make scalloped potatoes, and she said, oh, and don't forget your nutritional yeast. So she's on to this as well. So we're going to turn the heat off now. That cornstarch flavor has more than cooked off. Stop whisking. And to this I'm going to add, this is 3 diced green onions, just the green parts. Mix this into our creamy sauce. This is looking better than I even expected. And this is about 3 tablespoons of fresh diced parsley. If you've made any of my other recipes in the past, you know I'm always incorporating fresh herbs into everything that I can. It just gives it such a gourmet look and flavor. And it adds so many antioxidants to the dish. So we're going to take this and layer up our potatoes, slice them up, and top our potatoes and bake them in the oven. Okay, I'm going to show you how to use a mandolin. If you're not familiar with this, this is a great way to slice your potatoes nice and thin. So the potatoes that I used for this recipe were about this size. I'm about 4 shy of a 5-pound bag, so it's probably about 4 pounds of potatoes for this amount of sauce. So with a mandolin, you're supposed to use a safety on the top, but I'm living on the edge. So what you do is you just slide the potato down, and it makes these beautiful, even slices. Your other option, what you can do is use a knife and practice your cutting skills. I do it that way. Sometimes it's quicker than pulling this out of the cabinet because I don't always have it on the counter. So I'm going to show you how to layer these. I choose to use 2 smaller baking pans. You could use 1 large one. I just like to do it this way because then I freeze one for later. What you're going to do is put some of our creamy sauce on the bottom here. Looks delicious. I tasted it. It turned out even better than I expected. So you're almost doing this like a lasagna, except all you have is potatoes and sauce. So you're going to layer these, and you're going to overlap them. Okay, and we're going to top it with one last layer of sauce. I'm going to cover this with some parchment paper first. I learned this from a friend just recently. And then some aluminum foil. That keeps the food from being exposed to the aluminum, which some people feel isn't so great for us. I'm not taking my chances, so I'm just going to put that parchment paper in there. I'm going to bake this in the oven at 400 degrees. I took these out of the oven about 15 minutes ago. I let them cool a little bit to firm up so that when we cut them, they won't just fall apart, hopefully. I baked them for 1 hour at 400 degrees, and then I put them under the broiler. I turned the oven to broil for about 10 minutes, maybe a little shy of 10 minutes. Keep an eye on them so the top doesn't burn, but just so it browns and goldens and looks pretty. So we're going to cut a piece. While this was baking in the oven, I put together some garlic greens, which I have on this plate here. The recipe's at plantpurity.com for garlic greens. I use Swiss chard. Topped it with some lemon. These smell so good. My house smells so good right now. Ooh, they're still very hot. I also wanted to mention about the potatoes. You want to leave the skins on. I don't know if you noticed when I was slicing them. You want to leave the skins on them. That adds fiber and extra nutrients. There's no reason to remove them. You can't even see the skin here. Let's give these a taste. They're so hot. Oh, you've been waiting. thanks so much for watching my cooking video. I hope you make some scalloped potatoes soon. Also, you might want to use this sauce. It's almost like a cheese sauce that it turned out to be. You could top vegetables with it. You could make a great baked macaroni and cheese. Top macaroni noodles, whole wheat preferably, or brown rice noodles. Put those in a nice baking dish like this. Top them with the cheese sauce. Bake them for a while until they get nice and browned. I think it would make a great soup base as well. I think from this recipe, creating this today, I'm going to come up with some great new recipes for you. So keep your eye out for the videos. Take care and best of health to you. And remember, optimum health will be owned by those who eat an abundance of plants. So eat your fruits and veggies.